Yeah, at the time it was like I was like 21 or something, and it was like there's so much happening in LA that I was just like so taken by all the amazing like cool things that were happening, and I was just trying to like do a bunch of things like running multiple businesses that were like all doing their own thing in their own right, but it was just taking too much energy from the channel, which like should have been the main focus. And I remember I was like I like designed this app basically, and it was like a social media. I just designed it in this day. Like I don't know why. I just randomly one day committed to like designing this idea I had, and I was like, oh, this is sick. And I showed it to this guy upstairs. Like my neighbor lived above, and I went to her apartment, and her friend was over, and he had like a tech startup, and I like showed him the app, and he was like, dang, that's actually pretty cool. And then he was like, what do you do? And I was like, oh, I like make YouTube videos. He was like, what are you doing this for? And then he like gave me some advice, and he like told me this long story. And basically the moral was like, you have to slow down to speed up. And I was like, I don't really know what that means necessarily, but I kind of interpreted it at the time as like, sometimes I need to like slow down on all these like random ideas and like just focus on what really is valuable, which is like the channel, to then like accelerate in just the channel, you know? It's kind of like just, you know, cutting out all the distractions to be able to like make one thing really good. Like people say you can't like make two things really good.
Right.
But I agree with that sentiment. Like it's hard to do two things really well. It's super hard to do three things really well. But like one thing you can do really, really well. Like even in college, I kind of realized that with the channel. And that's kind of why I dropped out, because it was like, I wanted to do college running really well. I wanted to do the channel really well. And then I had to do school. And so it was like, these are like three big commitments, and I'm kind of like doing the running channel really well and the running really well, but school is really taking a hit. So I was like, I can do two things pretty well, but like what happens if I could go 100% on the running channel, you know? And so
what was the GPA once you dropped out?
Bad.
What
like,
was it?
Like maybe like 1.8.
Out of a 4.0?
Yeah.
Fist bump there. You did something cool while
no,
like, the cool
I
kid.
remember like one time like I had a triple, like there was three of us in like one dorm, and dude, I remember one day like my alarm went off and I was like, I'm gonna go back to bed. I went back to bed, and then I realized I was like, I have an exam right now. And it was like 45 minutes into the exam. It was like some geology exam. And I just like pull up 45 minutes late and like take the test in like 20 minutes. I'm just like, shh. And I like turn it in. And I was like, yeah, I should probably drop out of college.
Wow.
Well, it was just like that moment where I'm like, oh, I really didn't even care enough to like even know to pull up to this exam. And then also I did not study at all or like write any papers or anything. Like,
was that due to extreme passion with YouTube at that point?
Yeah, that and school was like super boring. Like I feel like I worked super hard in high school to like make it into college.
Shout out
like,
Deep Brown.
Yeah, let's go. Dude, yeah, worked really hard in high school, like took a bunch of AP classes, like tried to like push it super hard. And then by the time we made it to college, I was like, man, I'm tired. I was like, I don't really want to do school that much longer. And also I was like, learning about geology probably not gonna be super applicable in my life. I'm not trying to become a geologist.